Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. Welcome to our monthly modality message. And before we get into any blah, blah, let's just say happy birthday to our Virgo friends.
Happy birthday, Virgo friends.
It's Virgo season.
Throughout the season of Virgo, from this day till about a month from now, 28 days.
This reading will be good for that time period.
Now, the reading, of course, is good for all signs, but of course, as each sign moves into a new sun sign, working from the modality energies, there may be different ways you can take advantage of what your high points and cycles are to be more effective. So let's get started.
Let's get started. Let's get started with the Cardinal Signs. Want to talk about the Cardinal Signs, Mr. O?
Well, Cardinal Signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, one each from each of the elements. And basically, Cardinals are the initiators. They get things started. They keep them active. They're quick. They have drive, ambition, enthusiastic, cleverness, very goal-oriented, as in they want to win. Their negative traits, of course, are that they can be too domineering, not you, too self-centered, never mind, forgetting about others as they focus on their own stuff.
Well, go ahead.
So this is actually all of them, not just Aries. And
not
so think
just
about
me.
it. Aries,
for
Cancer,
that.
Libra, and Capricorn. So with this in mind, we look at what their next sun cycle is.
I did want to interject.
Go right ahead.
That I'm very cardinal because, of course, as you know, I'm in Aries and my moon is in Capricorn. Enough said.
All right.
You may shuffle now.
May I?
Yes, you may.
Yes, Mom.
Am I being too domineering? All right. And as he's shuffling and cutting, we'll talk about the reading. The reading has 4 cards. And it will tell us what is happening and how you should respond. Cardinal signs. Okay. So the first card is the primary focus for the Cardinal's modality in the month ahead. Oh, it's the Prince of Swords reversed.
The Prince of Swords would be like the Knight.
Yes.
Okay. So
the Knight of Swords reversed. Okay, Cardinal signs, I know we're in a hurry. I know we want to get things started. I know we want to get things moving, but don't cut any corners as far as the decisions you need to make. Make sure that you don't move so quickly that you make mistakes, You make a wrong decision, a wrong choice because you didn't take the time necessary to work it out.
Exactly. The favorable aspects of working with zest or zeal or speed are, of course, that things are just kind of fluidly moving in place. But this energy would seem to indicate that not this time. You may have to really retract and look at your plans. It could just be a matter of planning because, of course, Swords does talk to that mental element in our lives.
You're moving too fast and you're moving too aggressively. It's another element with the swords. So the Knight of Swords is a fast mover, and reversed, it might be just a little bit too fast for his own good.
So maybe you're not thinking about it enough before.
So card 2, the role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead. The 8 of Pentacles reversed.
8 of Pentacles reversed. It may be that you will find if you are having work situations or any situation where there's some level of cooperation, maybe some of that is going to be a little bit skewed towards not finding it feasible. Maybe some of the working with people doesn't seem to take full advantage of yours or other skills, things like that. So maybe it's a mismatching with what the work is.
It could very well be, but you know how domineering you guys can be, and also,
Mm.
you forget about others because you're focused on you. So, be sure this week you're not being selfish and you're not being too pushy with people about how the work is being done or how fast it's getting done. Again, I sense this kind of, aggressiveness a little bit here, or maybe it's just you're disappointed that things aren't moving the way you want them to. So remember, it's not always about you. Everybody has their own way of doing things.
All right.
Card 3 is the opportunities or challenges you might
Excuse me.
face in the month ahead. How best can you achieve or tackle them? The moon reversed. That's an interesting card here. So, do you want to go first on that, or you want me to?
Well,
I'll go
sure.
first on that. I'll
Okay, go
first.
ahead.
You went last time. So, you know what? I'm thinking here that the opportunity is to take any information that is revealed to you, because it looks like there's going to be information revealed to you, and use it to your advantage to tackle whatever task, assignment, opportunity, goal that you may be working on.
So it sounds a little risque, the moon reversed, finding out things. So I would say that maybe it doesn't pertain totally to a professional life or work life of sort. It could just be about,
Okay.
some gossipy things too that you may be able to take advantage of. I mean, just as an idea, perhaps you find out that one of your children's playmates is possibly engaging in behavior that they should not be. You might be able to take advantage of the information and make that the situation is resolved, maybe between, parents or caregivers, things like that.
I like it. And card 4, how can you use your modalities superpowers to best advantage this month? Ah, is the 6 of Pentacles. Well, I could let you go first on that one, I guess.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, if your superpower really lends itself to the idea, I think, of a level of participation that includes being generous, but the expectation that, of course, we're all helping each other and we're helping each other as best we can. And some of us may have better opportunities or better resources to be helpful in certain situations, but we all may find that there is something we can give to people. And I think that's what this is, your modality is saying there is something you can give of yourself, or maybe there's something you should be looking forward to receiving that you in turn can do good with it as well.
So you want to win, don't you? You, as one of our attorneys at law locally says, you want to win. Well, if you want to win, Cardinal Signs, or you're getting things started, you're getting things going, be sure that there is an even flow here, that what you put out, you receive back, that what effort you're putting out is reciprocated by the efforts of others. In other words, work as a team, work together, no dominatrix, use your superpowers of enthusiasm and drive to encourage others to work with you.
But you know what else? It almost sounds like the superpower would make you folks be Captain Karma. What goes around comes
true.
around,
That's
do good
true.
and good will happen to you. The golden rule. Captain Karma and his golden rule, or her golden rule.
That sounds like my Monday morning tea card for today, Mr. O.
Really?
I said what you sow, you reap in there. It's a very similar
Well,
thing.
there you go. Well,
there you go. It's just another way of saying
So let's
it.
recap.
Let's recap. So basically, the first card, the primary focus for the Cardinal Signs.
It's the reversed Knight of Swords, and so it may be indicating that you should think about some of the moves you're making, that it really is not about being unchallenged and wanting to be competitive, but also understanding that you might have to have a little forethought on exactly the strategy, the approach.
Slow down, you
Slow
speedy
down.
cardinal signs. Slow down and think about things before you take those moves forward. I think that's one of the main messages here, especially as far as major decisions, choices, things like that goes, moves. Be careful and take it slow. I know it's hard, but it will pay off. All right. So the role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead is what again, Mr. O?
It's the reversed Eight of Pentacles.
So that to me indicates here that, you're going to have some friction with others, and it's, I feel it's largely due to you and your ambitiousness and the fact that you like to control things. You dominate sometimes. That's one of the negative attributes of our cardinal signs. And so be more benevolent. Don't expect more from others than you would from yourself, and try to work together.
Whether this pertains to work situations or other things,
Right.
Be aware of how your personal style interacts with others' styles. Just because somebody may do something differently doesn't mean that they're wrong, but just kind of have an awareness of that we all have some different styles, especially when it comes to working and or working for, a similar aim.
The opportunities, challenges you may face in the month ahead, how best to achieve or tackle them.
And it's the moon reversed.
Well, it's the moon reversed, and I think it's all about information that will be revealed. Maybe it's something you really needed to know. You know how we were talking here about slowing down and thinking about things in the beginning? Well, maybe that plays into this. The information is coming into you. You need to absorb it, and you need to understand it before you make the moves you're making this month, whether it is in your personal or your business life.
Yeah, that's basically what I was going to say, is this doesn't necessarily pertain to one. It could even pertain to a number of your personal situations. Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, your superpower, how can you use it to best advantage this month? Well, it's the Six of Pentacles upright. It was upright.
Mm-hmm.
So the Six of Pentacles upright indicates that really you just got to keep an even pace, an even flow. Whatever you're doing too, if this is about relationships, make sure everything is fair and equitable, and you're treating each other respectfully. If it's about work and that, make sure that you're giving as well as you are getting. Keep things even.
The energies of this card align with the actual signs mostly is really conducive. When you look at them, there's always a sense of either management or just some sort of sense of being able to delineate process, And so whether that, of course, is personal or professional, it's all there really in a way. It's just really saying that your superpower is maybe mentoring, maybe guiding in certain ways.
What card was that again?
That's the Six of Pentacles.
Oh, yeah, the Six of Pentacles. Yes.
I mean, I'm just talking about that.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. And I know you guys want to win. Just don't dominate things. Just make sure you're all working together. You're all on the same page. I think all will go well this month for the cardinal signs, don't you?
Indeed. Not bad. Good start.
All right. Let's move on to our friends, the fixed signs, which is Taurus, Libra, and Scorpio and Aquarius. So let's see what's going on for you in the month ahead, this Virgo month ahead, Virgo season. So, the fixed signs are our steady people. They're stable, they're determined, they're resolute, they're self-reliant. They forge ahead calmly and work on their objectives step by step. Remember, everybody who helps them, and also they're persistent. They concentrate. They're powerful yet purposeful. And, but there is a dark side. Stubborn. They're kind of my way, the highway thinking. They're fixed in their thinking. Tendencies to get stuck in their ways. And more importantly, they always believe they're right.
You used to call me Mr. Right.
Did I?
No. No, you did not.
Not in this lifetime.
Here, you better start shuffling.
All right.
I noticed our wonderful little pet Shadow is hoovering around down there. Did you see her a moment ago?
I did.
Yes.
Of course I did. To buy my leg.
So exciting for the month ahead. And of course, just after the sun moves into Libra about a month from now, we will be appearing live at a local event in the Detroit metro area. And we'll be reading cards, and we'll probably be trying to sell a few items we have from our large collection of esoteric materials.
Tis the season, because we'll be doing it in October as well.
Yes. So we've been having a little more personal public action, which is great. Okay, so fixed signs.
Fixed signs. Do you want to go ahead with the reading? You're going to read it this time?
Yes, okay. So the primary focus for fixed signs in the month ahead.
The Virgo season.
And it's the reversed Three of Swords. And it sounds kind of Virgoian in a way, because it is really about cleansing yourself of some sorrows, perhaps fixed signs you may be feeling like you need to focus on your healing issues. You need to focus on the things that maybe you weathered, but maybe kind of created frictions or tensions, and now you have to work on maybe some reconnections with the right people, not necessarily everybody. If this pertains to some relationships, that may be it, but you still need to focus on some healing there.
You know, you fixed signs, you're so fixed and stable that, you know, things that disrupt things like broken relationships, loss of a job, a loss of something, it affects you kind of hard. It rocks your world, you know, but you are healing now. The Three of Swords is it's time to heal. It's time to let go more of the things that you might be clinging to. Let it go. That is, I think, one of the focuses of the primary focus of this month.
So it is not only the primary focus, but it is very challenging for the fixed signs, given how we have talked about their nature to be stubborn and want to hold on to things. So it is going to be a challenging focus for you. Okay, card 2, the role that your interactions with others may play in that month ahead, this month ahead. And it's another 3, so that's kind of interesting. And it's also reversed. It's the 3 of Pentacles, and it's reversed.
That's interesting. So the role of others. So I don't know if this
card that talks about.
Well, you know, it could be relating to the first card. Maybe there's been some disruption, you know, in a work team
or teams of
or
any
teams.
Sort.
Maybe there's been a disruption, you know, in a family unit that has caused some of the sorrow and pain that you are healing from. So I wonder if they do play together somewhat here. So your role with others may be, you know, to try to heal what's wrong or to move past that now. Because with the Three of Swords there reversed, I'm wondering if it is saying something is not working for you. You know, some of the people that you are aligned with, whether it's in your tribe, whether it's in your family, whether it's relationship, whether it's at work, a work condition, it's not working for you, and it's time to let go and heal. And maybe in some ways you've already been released from that, but it's hard to heal from it. Now's the time.
And the other thing too is that this is a realization that members of team may have different focuses within the team, different parts of the structure, things they're supposed to do, things that they are supposed to wait for you to do. So a lot of this sounds like a rebuilding effort, really trying to look at what the team said maybe didn't work and trying to figure out how to rework that. Okay, moving on to the third card. This is the opportunities or challenges that the fixed signs will face in the month ahead and how best they can achieve or tackle them.
Uh-oh.
And it's the Ten of Wands. So it almost seems like maybe there's an impasse of some sort, because it does seem like, and maybe now, of course, the whole narrative is coming through, is that there is going to be challenges and opportunities, but they will involve, taking on some burden. So it may be that the way this thing happens,
boy, am I seeing a story
you
there.
may have to help out others in another division or another part of the overall structure or within the team or cell unit, somebody you may have, maybe somebody's leaving has affected you to the point that now you have the burden of their work or their situation.
Right. These burdens usually are physical ones, but not always, not necessarily. I'm seeing a real pattern here, and it's almost as if you, darn fixed signs, and
Watch
your
it.
stubbornness
Watch
and
it.
your and you being stuck in your ways are having a hard time of letting go of this burden of pain you're feeling from that Three of Swords, from the disruptions with the Three of Pentacles.
It must be bunnies.
Must be just you having a hard time coping with it. And so I feel like all these cards play into that focus. There, how sometimes some things tend to stand alone, and we may say they may relate to a different situation in your life in the month ahead. I really think this is the primary thing a lot of you fixed signs, not everybody, are going to be working through.
So with that, we go to card 4. How can you use your modality superpower to best take advantage?
Let's see if this fits.
Ooh, well, it's definitely talking about the modality superpower, perhaps, because it is Fixed Water Queen of Cups. I want you to go first.
My God.
I think maybe it's saying play the drama queen for all it's worth.
The Queen of Cups is upright. So what it is saying is use your stability, use the fact that you are a self-reliant person. You do not have to keep being attached to a situation that is not working for you. You are better than that. You can move beyond that. You can move forward. You can stop this and get your emotions together. The Queen of Cups is very emotional, yes, but she's balanced. She's got it all together. She recognizes that there's going to be unhappy times, there's going to be good times. She recognizes that not everything is, rosy, and she can deal with that. This is what you need to strive for. I know it's the best way to use it's in this position of your modality superpowers. So what I would say is be persistent. Use that superpower of persistence to continue the healing process and not get hung up with that 10 of Wands.
Well, water is one of the most powerful forces in the world because drop by drop, it eventually can carve out stone. We see that from thousands of years. And of course, that's saying that really this is about also having a sense of patience and projecting maybe serenity or calmness to these situations here, and not asserting control so much, but just saying this is going to stabilize everyone's emotions and parts here, and from there we can start working.
And that's the other thing about this. If fixed signs, you're involved in a situation that may not necessarily be a lost cause. I mean, there's sorrow, there's grief, there seems to be dysfunction in a team working together, whatever the team is. Be the healer here. Try to at least heal things, but listen to me on this. Don't get stuck there. You can only do so much.
All right, so let's do a wrap-up with that again, a run-through.
This was such a deep one. Oh, my gosh. So
first, the primary focus for the fixed signs seems to show that they need to work on healing, whether it's healing from relationships or healing from situations with workplace or professional or vocational.
Whatever.
Something has kind of, went through a cycle of hard times, and maybe the difficulties are subsiding, but if it's not exactly healing, it's also about self-cleansing. It's sort of about, getting back into a stability mode.
whatever caused this has happened. And so now the healing needs to take place. It's happened. It's done. And so now what do you do about it? How do you heal? Do you try to stitch it back together? Do you move on? That's, I guess, what's going to be unraveling here in the cards ahead. So go ahead with the second one.
So what we said for the reverse Three of Pentacles would seem to indicate that maybe you have a really strong role with trying to pull people back together that are affected in this role, team members or people in a situation, and not so much point out their errors, but really try to say there was a way of being a team. Let's try to pull that back together.
I don't know about that. I agree with that, but I'm not sure that's the be all and end all. But I agree with that because that's part of it. I think here that this card, your interactions with others, is based on that first card. Yes, something has happened that has caused pain and needs to be healed. You're in the healing process now, and your interactions with others is part of that. So whether you leave them, or whether you work to heal them or try to figure out what's wrong and how you can all come together again, that's what's at stake. And that's what the interactions seem to be about.
All right. So then the third card was the opportunities or challenges you face in this next month and how best you can take advantage. And it does seem like there's picking up pieces here. Things may come to you unbidden. You know, you may, if it's a work situation, you may have to assume some of the tasks or things that somebody else did. But it could also apply to home situations too. Maybe something has really disrupted the status quo and now you are responsible for more. It may be challenging, it may be a burden, but this will also present an opportunity. Maybe it's about getting this growth together.
It is an opportunity too. You know, one of the things we didn't mention about that card that I forget sometimes as well is that with the Ten of Wands, often the work gets harder when you're nearing completion of a goal or project or something. When something is coming and gelling together, there's more work. Once you get through it, you're done. But what this is saying to me as the opportunity and the challenge is that as you're working through this process of healing and trying to mend things, you may find it's difficult, it's tough. And, you know, you just got to be persistent. You have to be persistent, which you fixed signs are good at, and keep forging ahead on trying to make it happen and getting through whatever it is that's burdening you.
I'm having a meme moment.
A meme moment?
Well, I'm thinking of the old TV show, The Munsters, and when Herman Munster would get really frustrated and he would do this kind of like, like, I'm stable. Okay, I got to work on it.
Also, the other thing is you have to let go of some of these burdens. The bottom line is, if healing needs to take place between a team of people, we didn't do the last card yet even.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm on the Ten of Wands. If healing needs to take place between groups of people, then realize that burden is not just on your shoulders. Others bear responsibility. This is not just you. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to tango. All right.
Indeed it does.
And finally, ultimately...
But it only takes one to mess up the cards.
Ultimately, with that last card, how you best to use your superpowers, and that is the
Queen
That's
of
right.
Cups.
My God. Be the healer. Try to be the heal, or if that does not work, heal yourself. Healer, heal thyself.
Well, you know, a lot of times when I look at who the fixed signs are and I look at that card, I say, this is talking about being the strong and silent type, you know. And of course, it's not a hard and fast, you know, idea, but there is that. So anyways, let's move on.
We're done. Let's get this show on the road for the mutable signs.
I know.
The mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and you can speak on them, Mr. O.
Well, they're positive. They're kind of like the great team member in a way because they kind of like to go with the flow once they agree with it. They're very adaptable. They're mutable. That's what that means. They're flexible in many ways. They're versatile. Of course, within the idea of astrology, there is always something competing with that. So nobody is ever that perfect, totally malleable. Or if they are, show me who they are. At any rate, they're just really good with assuming new responsibilities, changing flow, changing the responsibilities. They enjoy learning.
But there are a few little things, flaws in the personality here. They can often be trying to please too many
hard.
people. You can't please everybody, but they certainly try. And ultimately, that can make them appear wishy-washy. That can, they can be inconsistent. Sometimes they can be duplicitous. And they can also stretch themselves way too thin.
Yikes.
Why did you cut? I haven't shuffled yet.
Oh, well, I thought you were supposed to shuffle first.
Well, you did. You took them. I didn't.
Oh, well, I thought you were handing to me
okay.
after you shuffled.
I can cut them.
So obviously we have a fixed sign or a cardinal sign and a fixed sign, and there is no mutability.
Don't you have any mutability in your chart? I have Gemini. Where's Gemini?
Oh,
doggone it. It's mutable. See?
Okay, what do I have in my chart?
That's my rising sign.
I have none of those.
So you're the one.
Yes. I'm not mutable.
All right, Mr. O. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Again, the primary focus is for the mutable signs this now for the month ahead. We have a lot of reverse cards this time, don't we?
It's the reversed Ace of Wands.
Well, mutables. What do I have to say here? The focus is on figuring out why you can't get something off the ground, why you can't get something started. It just seems like there's blockages, whether this is in your personal life and relationships, whether even this is starting, going back to school, you just are non-motivated, or, looking for a new project, goal, or assignment. You've got the idea, but you can't seem to get it off the ground.
Creative people, like they got writer's block, or they can't quite get their ideas out. It's things like that. It could also be saying too that, of course, you are frustrated by things happening to you in terms of networking. Maybe there was a friendship or situation that you thought was going to be a good thing, and maybe it's more work for you, or it's not working out.
Well, you know what? That being said, the good news is because you guys are the easiest in the in the modalities here to make changes. If something's not working, focus on what you need to change to either make it happen or do something else.
So, right, even though the focus is saying something is not being productive enough, or you're not feeling creative enough, you can work on that. All right, next card.
Well, the next card is about interactions with others. The role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead.
And it is a reversed Seven of Cups. So,
okay.
This is a card.
That's great.
This is a card of maybe feeling that with that first situation, if there were just too many variables going on and you didn't feel you were able to focus on them in terms of either the outlet for creativity or for just focus, by interacting with others and maybe by voicing your concerns or seeing what they can add to that brew, you may be able to find the expression, find the goal, find the challenge, find the opportunity that you're really looking for.
Exactly, Mr. O. I feel here that others will help you, mutable signs. You're very likable. People want to, reach out and give you some advice from time to time too, because you're so helpful to them. And so basically they're there to say, hey, if this isn't working for you, how about trying this? They can maybe focus you on something that will lead you either in a better direction or help you turn whatever it was you were working on around.
Sincere collaborations or interactions will help you find the answers or focus yourself to find those answers.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
There's definitely opportunities to fix this or to move on to something better.
And card 3 is about the opportunities or challenges that you will face and how best you can achieve them. And it's the Queen of Swords. And it's upright, so it's pretty dynamic. It's sort of saying, face them head on. A lot of the Queen of Swords energy says sometimes you just have to look and feel and be able to channel that sense of neutrality, of being really not prejudiced towards a decision or an outcome one way or the other. The Queen of Swords represents a sense of judgment that is fair, but is forceful on a certain level. So this could be saying really that when something is challenging and somebody has to really kind of pick it up and go with it, you're going to find this energy really says, I can do that. So you may be picking up a task, maybe it's at work, somewhere else, but you're going to impress somebody by your really take charge attitude. I know I went on too long.
No, I did that with one of the signs. You're fine. The Queen of Swords here is the perfect card for you mutables. So it's the opportunity, right? The opportunity or challenges. So I think here, you know very well how to play fair with others. That's what you do. And so you're very neutral in a lot of ways. You know how to be diplomatic. So I feel here that, you can come up with things that are shared decisions, shared goals, things that will please everybody. I think the Queen of Swords here, and also you're sharp. Speaking of the Queen of Swords, you have a sharp intellect. So you will use this. The opportunity exists for you to this month to really put in, the mental acuities at play here and make solid decisions, but also being benevolent enough if you're working in a group to make sure that everybody is in on the decision-making process, playing fair, making sure that when you do make decisions that involve others, that you are taking everything into account fairly.
Well, it sounds like maybe, flowing from that, this idea of interaction with people that, have a stake here gives you the sense of empowerment or go ahead, that you need to enact in that direction, taking charge and making some decisions that are good for everyone.
Yeah, and I think the Queen of Swords is too good with that Seven of Cups reversed, clearly, because it is about making appropriate decisions. And
Very
ultimately, how best to use your superpower this month?
And it's the King of Wands reversed.
Oh.
So this could be saying, don't try to be overly magnanimous, overly charismatic. This could be saying, be your normal self in most adventures here. This is saying, you not be in charge of things, but to feel that, you are able to share the spotlight, so to speak. And so in my mind, it sort of acts like the idea of what your modality is. You do like to share, but it's flowing from these other cards too, in a way.
Well, I have to say here, this is where I think the negative attributes come to play. And so this is always about how best to use your modality superpowers. So I'm just going to say it this way, how best to avoid pitfalls this month, fix mutable signs. And it's basically not allowing yourself to try to please everybody. This is one of those things where I feel you might be trying too hard to make everybody happy and you can't do it. You want everybody to feel that that enthusiasm and drive that, especially with the King of Wands there that you have. And people aren't always like that. So, I mean, don't try to please everybody too hard. If you're happy, that's all that matters.
Very interesting. I think we need
I want to look at this again in context. I mean, it doesn't totally flow together, but most of it does. So let's take a look at this.
So our first card was the reversed Ace of Wands, the focus for the month.
Something's not working, something's not coming together, whether it's personal project or goal or group project or goal, or it's involving relationships you were hoping would get off the ground. Things are just not working out. And so that's going to be your focus, is how to get things on the right track, or if you should abandon them completely.
It's either a lack of confidence of some sort, or it's a writer's block, or it's a feeling like you're walking on eggshells. You're just not feeling confident about a particular move. And so you need to focus on how you can bolster yourself in that way.
But the next one is very hopeful. Your interactions with others indicates that others can offer you solutions. They can offer you options, and they can help you focus on the right one. So let them help you figure out what to do, what your next move should be.
Right. Whether this is personal or professional, your interactions with people, stakeholders, whatever you want to call them, will inspire you to find the solutions you're looking for.
Right. And so the next card is the challenges or opportunities you may be experiencing this month. And
it's the Queen of Swords.
That's right.
Oh, right.
I think it's a great opportunity for you to show your smarts, to show your intellect, and to show your reasoning abilities. You're a quick learner and stuff too. So if you look at things objectively, which you're pretty good at, I think that you will play fair with others, and that's going to be a real strong point for you this month.
I think it's also really talking about neutrality and impartiality. Whether it's, relationships that need that kind of interaction, whether it's professional or not.
And ultimately, the superpower, well, to me, a king is reversed. How best to use your superpower is first. Don't be like that King of Wands. But that being said, I'm saying, maybe sometimes you get a little bit sometimes I feel like you allow others to bring you down a little bit, and you try too hard to please them. Don't put yourself in a position where you're spreading yourself too thin. You want to make sure everything is balanced and fair. You are mutable. You want to go with the flow. But to go with the flow doesn't mean it should be you on top of a wave and controlling the wave, because you're going to get pretty burnt out. Don't let others take advantage of you.
Well, your modality suggests anyways that you want to get along with people and you want to please people. So I'm thinking your modality superpower is saying, I don't have to be the most charismatic person. I don't have to be the star. I can kind of, be a part of the overall team.
Bam! Nice sending there, Mr. O. I agree.
All right. And it is Virgo season, and we took longer, it seemed like, with these readings, but I think it's important to consider that Virgo season, for whatever sign you are, whatever element or modality you are, it's a season about purging and cleansing. Virgo is a time for us to look at ourselves, a lot of it, and say, what is it I could be without, or what do I need to make changes with? So some people do dietary changes. Some people decide it's time to do post-spring cleaning.
Yes.
So hang in there, everybody, because obviously it's going to be a busy month.
That's our readings for this month. We'll see you again during Libra season,
where maybe it will all balance out.
Ooh, I like that, Mr. O. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.